Welcome to Bill's Bridge Corner, Friday, November 15th, 2013. Class 23, Introduction to Defensive Bidding. So far, we've been living in a utopia. The opener and the responder. No one else is involved. Well, in the real world, there are 4 people at the table, and they are going to get their licks in too. So today we're going to begin looking at the defensive bidding, the opponents of the opener. As a matter of fact, there are 4 people in the table. Let's begin with some terminology. The 2 other players in the room. We have the opener, which we've been introduced to, the first person to make the bid. The responder is the partner of the opener. The overcaller is the first opponent of the opener, making the bid other than pass. And the advancer is the partner of the overcaller. Let's look at a real example. South, 1 diamond. The opener. West, double. The overcaller. Yes, double is not an overcall, but it's a bid other than pass. North, redouble. The responder. The responder doesn't have to make a bid. Redouble is also considered a response, a call. And now east, 1 heart. He is the partner of the overcaller called the advancer. Let's take some notes before we get further. First of all, calls of double and redouble are often used instead of proposing a contract by a bid, clubs, diamonds, hearts, pairs, and no trust, and by themselves propose an alternative or a set of alternative contracts. So don't be confused in this example by the fact that West, although he is making a takeout double, is called the overcaller. Also note that West is still referred to as the overcall, even though he is, strictly speaking, not an overcall. And North's redouble is not a call. But that's the terminology. Now let's look at the defending team and what challenges the defending team has. The first thing you should realize is when the opponents start the auction and you want to stick your nose in, the opener's partner knows something about his partner. He knows that he opened bidding, so he has 13 or more points. So with a rule of 20, he has some cards. You don't. When you make a bid, your partner could have nothing. The effect is, when the opponents start the auction, you have different objectives. You may not be interested in the game. You may only want to interfere, possibly compete. Let's look at some objectives you might be interested in doing. You are less likely to reach a game contract because you already know that one opponent has made a bid. The chances of getting the game are much lower once the opponent's open bid. You're more likely to be doubled and set because the partner of the opener knows a great deal about his partner's hand. So you are taking on more risk by the mere fact you're bidding than the opener is in making bids, or the responder in responding to partner. Your objective then is more likely to be to interfere with or cause trouble for the opponent. It might possibly be to sacrifice. So your objectives are different. Here are some principles of the defending side. Hand patterns determines the action taken or not taken. Just because you have, quote, an opening hand doesn't mean you make a bid of some kind. What matters is, if you want to get in there from the beginning on an offensive type hand, go in, you have at it. Sandbagging is not an effective strategy most of the time. If you have some points, you're best to bid immediately if you can, but I'll put a caveat, if you can safely. The more descriptive and exacting your first bid is, the better it is. We're going to cover different ways in which you need to be in several sessions after this. Suit solidarity is more important if you are the defending side. Intermediary cards are critical. If you're doubled and you have 10 to 9s and 8s in your trump suit, you're less likely to go down for a moment. Your strong offensive hand should begin with preemption. And if you have a preemptive type hand, jump is in there and do it right. Don't sandbag. Strong defensive hand should provide room for partner to participate or the opponents to overreach. And on defensive hands, be careful. You may be better playing as a defender. And as usual, major suits, top dog. Spades are important, so in any bid you make as a defender, pay attention to the spade suit. It's important to emphasize the spades and the hearts. Also, vulnerability is an important role in the decision-making process. If you are vulnerable against non-vulnerable opponents, you have to be very careful. On the other hand, if you are not vulnerable and opponents are vulnerable, it's much easier to jump in, less likely to be done in the set. What is the structure of intervention? We're going to have future classes that will cover a variety of things, but let's look at it over the big picture. One-suited hands are simple to bid. You bid the suit. Simple overcall is stronger in defense than jump overcall, and that's the same too as an open bid. If you have a weak hand with a long suit, go ahead and jump. It shows a weak hand, not a strong hand. The level of the bid and the vulnerability control the use of the bid. At the 2 level, realize that you're proposing to take 8 tricks and your partner has so far not seen anything. So you better have a very good suit. Most responses to overcalls by the advancer are descriptive but non-forcing. You'll find as we get further into the bidding that there are a lot of sequences where the responder to the opener leaves open partner to bid again, encourages and in fact requires the opener to rebid. Most of the responses to partner when the partner overcall are descriptive, not forcing. What is the structure itself? One-suited hands are overcall. 2-suited hands are best if there is one bid that tells the partner both of the suits. It has an advantage over any other bidding structure. And in fact, you'll find out that I have a disagreement with the so-called experts, at least in this area of the country, as to this structure. And you'll see that as we go on. But listen to my argument rather than counting noses. When you have 2 suits to pick from, the odds of finding a fit in one of the 2 suits by partner is over 70%. The partner knows the 2 suits. But if the partner doesn't know about which the second suit is, the opponent may preempt and become too dangerous for the partner to show that support, because it might miss the fit in the second suit. Hands are usually preemptive in nature, but may also be strong. 2-suited hands can be anywhere from weak to very strong. With intermediate strength, in most of the cases we'll be speaking in future classes, we bid naturally. The 2-suited bids are either strong or weak, not intermediary. What is the structure? For 3-suited hands in balance, they're often handled by a double or by a natural one-neutral bid. Yes, I understand for you experts out there are different 2-suited doubles, and yes, there are distributional no-trump jumps, unusual no-trumps we cover. And yes, you may be forced to pass even with values for an opening bid. This last bullet is something that new bridge players get really confused about. It shouldn't be. The primary reason that you may be forced to pass is you have strength or length or both in the opening suit. Here's an example. Your right-hand opponent opens 1 heart, and you hold 6 hearts. What are you going to bid? You're going to bid their suit? You're going to double? No, you're going to pass. And double tells your partner to bid. What's he going to bid? He'll probably bid double. Now you're in trouble. This hand begs a pass. Just because you have a quote opening hand doesn't mean you bid as a defender. Possible actions by the defending side. An overcall. Bid a suit without a jump at the 1 level. Without a jump at the 2 level requires more strength. Bid a suit with a jump at the 2 or 3 level with a jump overcall. That's weak. One no trump is a natural bid, showing suit stopped. A takeout double asks partner to bid his suit and implies shortness in the opener's suit. A Q bid, bidding the opener suit, has specialized meanings. I'm going to refer that to future classes. Unusual no trump, 2 no trump, asks for minor suits, and a jump Q bid may have special meaning as well. Other conventional 2-suited bids, which we'll cover in future classes. There's a whole slew of these to cover, and we can't cover them in one class even to begin to. Future classes. Tomorrow we're going to cover the overcall and the jump overcall. The day after that we'll do the takeout double, but we'll refer to future classes some of these other defensive bidding techniques, including one no trump natural overcall, the traditional 2-suited overcalls, other 2-suited overcalls, yes there are others, and my proposition for the overall defensive bidding structure, which will come quite a bit down the road. Until then, tomorrow we're going to cover the overcall. See you then.